Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. In the last episode, I unfortunately skipped a cutscene, but I just checked, like, the end of that one cutscene. It wasn't really interesting. Like, Krile just left. That's pretty much it, but this part is interesting. So we're gonna watch it now. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Someone is looking for a weapon, I see. Did you find something for his liking? To his liking? Not a samurai sword.
Well, does this one meet with your approval?
Guess that's a no.
Apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance. Oh, but the seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken. Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
What?
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use. Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Ooh.
Well, well, not quite what I was expecting, though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
Alrighty, and that was the cutscene. But yeah, let's hop into the actual story now. Alrighty, people, we are back with our main objective, the company we keep. That sounds pretty deep. Please tell me it's not about Emerald again. Ah, Lura, you're looking well. I take it you managed to squeeze in some rest. If you came hoping for tidings from Krile, I'm afraid we're still waiting. But we do have some odd scraps of news to share. Scraps, she says. Lunar primals have been popping up all over the place, but the Alliance has the situation well in hand. Thanks in no small part to Hori Boulder and the others. Nice. Meanwhile, talks with the Beast tribes are going even better than expected. Encouraged by Ulda's progress with the Amalja, Gridania has opened negotiations with the XIV, believe it or not. Amazing. All of which is obviously very encouraging, but with the Telephoroi still out there, it's not as if we can afford to lower our guard. Yeah, it feels like we should do something, you know? Begging your pardon, but I come bearing an invitation from the Alliance. Oh my god, why am I like this? Ah, we were just talking about the Alliance. May I ask what's on the agenda? I believe the intention is to share news of recent developments and discuss what measures might be taken to combat the Tell of Forroy. In concert with our new allies, the Beast Tribes have also been invited. It is hoped that they will join us in the fight against our common foe. So the Alliance will bring all of the Beast Tribes into the fold at a single stroke. An ambitious plan, given the delicacy of the negotiations, but mayhap an expedient one, considering the threat we face. Indeed, my lady, and for the part I am told the Beast Tribes have agreed to attend. If the Scions too are present, all of Eorzea will be represented. To arrange such a meeting must have been quite an undertaking, not only diplomatically, but practically. Pray inform the Alliance that we would be honored to participate. We shall make for El Amigo without delay. Then I will bear your answer bitter with all haste. We look forward to receiving you at the Royal Palace. Let's go. Or do we have to discuss it again? It's not like we all know that we should go to El Amigo. Well, now that we've accepted the invitation, who exactly is going to attend? I move that you and Yashola lead our contingent. Given how long you have worked to end summoning, it is only right that you be present for what promises to be a historic moment. What about me? I think we've all played our part in that little endeavor, don't you, Laura? All present may rightly claim a seat. I do quite agree, but by your leave, I believe I shall remain here and lend what assistance I can to the coordination of our defensive efforts. I'm not coming either. Emmerich will be there, and I'd rather not be interrogated. Very well then. Will those with a mind to hold the fort get on with holding it? I suggest the rest of us make for El Amigo, shall we? Let's go. Alrighty, we made it. We have been expecting you. While some few guests have yet to arrive, the Alliance leaders are all present. Shall I show you in? I couldn't even say yes. Why are you asking me? Oh snap. They're actually here. Hey, Ian is here. Nice. Damn. That is actually historic.
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Information on our taken brethren you have, yes? Hear it we would! Ah! Beyond forgiveness these featherless ones are! With rivers of blood shall they pay! Freed our people must be!
It's funny how they say featherless, but to be honest, they don't have that many feathers either.
We too would see your kin liberated, but ere we attempt their rescue, we must first find a means to negate the risk of tempering. Without that, we will be unable even to approach the towers, let alone contend with their defenders.
What about me? I literally beat the real deal. And I'm not getting tempered. Just send me in there.
If all else fails, I've always found cannonballs quite effective.
And what of the prisoners? Would you see them slaughtered?
Think for a moment. Ponder, consider, think. If Merlwyb truly intended to bombard the towers, she would have done so by now. Remember, we came here to find a solution together, did we not?
Y'shtola spoke of defenders. I but offered a means to clear a path, should you require it.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance of success. For if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
A paragon, the Empire, our very gods. How can we hope to prevail against such odds?
That our foe is formidable, none would deny. But our strengths are many and varied. In this chamber, I see masters of strategy, masters of magic, masters of the land, the air, and the sea. And together, there is nothing in creation we cannot overcome.
Got a point there. But kind of rude that they can all sit and the Beastman archers standing, you know. It's like, it doesn't seem as invited.
I beg your pardon?
What is it, Soulwalker? Do not express your passion thus. A little pretty without deals, perhaps? Suffice it to say, I am proud to be counted amongst Eorzea's finest. We, Sahagin, will play our part.
We kobolds have not forgotten the crimes the Overdwellers committed against us in the past. But today we look to the future, as allies united in purpose.
Make mock of the Ixal, the Paragon does! Turns kin into puppets, pits brother against brother! Free them from his grasp, we shall!
As Patriarch Zadar will attest, the Scions have granted us a means to free your brethren from their thraldom. This boon we will gladly share, that your people might never be enslaved again.
We accept! We accept!
Praise me!
It's taken a while, but I do believe we might be one step closer to a world without primals. Would that Minfilia were here to see it.
We still have a long way to go, and we're going to need a lot more Porksies. But we're moving in the right direction.
If I may have your attention, there is one other point I would like to raise. As we can all agree, freeing those held captive must take precedence over every other concern. But experience has taught us that none save those with the capacity to resist tempering can hope to enter the towers unscathed. And even once inside, a still greater threat may yet await them, that which we call a primal. Needless to say, if we are to succeed, engaging with such foes can only ever be considered a last resort. And so I move that we seek to prevent them from being summoned in the first place.
Aren't they already summoned?
Yes! Both prayer and ether are needed for the ritual. Should either one be denied, the summoning would fail.
Indeed. And so we must endeavor to discover the source of the ether on which the process depends. Do so, and it may present a way to halt the summonings, or perhaps even neutralize the towers entirely.
A promising proposal. While you are conducting your investigations, however, we will need to remain vigilant, lest the Telophoroi commit further abductions and summon primals ere we have the means to prevent them. To stand a better chance of keeping our enemy at bay, we would do well to coordinate our defensive efforts, sending reinforcements to assist our neighbors when needed.
We Amalja would have been overwhelmed were it not for our newfound allies. But say the word, and we shall come.
I see we are all in accord. But what are we to call this proud fellowship of ours? I submit that the honor of naming it should go to the scion whose brave efforts have done so much to unite Eorzea. What say you, my friend?
Can't it just be the Alliance? I would call it the Grand Company of Eorzea. I'll call it one moment, please. I don't know, I guess. Sounds fine.
But that's the name I...
A fine choice, for there is none here who does not love Eorzea.
Aye, in that we shall ever be united.
United in our gratitude for the realm that gave us life.
Then let it be recorded that on this day, the Grand Company of Eorzea was born.
Yay.
How long have we dreamed of this moment? And now that it's here, Oh, forgive me. Might we speak outside?
Oh my god. There is really bigger stuff going on. Well, now that we are out of earshot of the other delegates, I hope you will forgive me if I speak my mind. Let me begin by saying that I have dreamed of this day since the moment I first set foot upon these shores, that I was as heartened as anyone to see the peoples of Eorzea pledge their solidarity. Yet even as they uttered their declarations, all I could think about was the conflict to come, of the sacrifices that would be made and the lives lost. Inevitabilities that I will still struggle to accept. But at least now there is hope. The formation of the Grand Company of Eorzea is the first step, the first of many. Many and more. Elder Seetsier, how might we be of service? I seek Master Alphinaud's assistance in a matter involving Gridania's neighbors, the Sylphs. I know that you and yours have long kept a weather eye upon the crystal trade, the better to predict the coming of primals, and so you will be familiar with the Sylphs of the Ash Crown Consortium. Through their dealings, they have cultivated relations, not only with the city-states, but many other communities besides. Communities such as the Beast Tribes. Just so, it is our hope that we may make use of the Sylphs' established lines of communication to coordinate the efforts of our new fellowship. Yet there remain certain practical differences between a trade consortium and the Grand Company. If the Sylphs are to perform their task effectively, they will require the counsel of one versed in the operational aspects of an armed force. An armed force founded with the self-same goal in mind, no less. The Crystal Braves, yes, forgive me, Master Alphinaud. I know that it was a painful chapter in your life, but the experience may yet be made to serve the realm. In my hubris, I plotted a course for the Crystal Braves, which stretched far beyond the Order's initial conception. One intended to pave the way for the founding of what I intended to call the Grand Company of Eorzea. But my plans all came to naught, built upon a frail foundation of lofty ideals. The Order was doomed from the first to collapse, under the weight of more worldly interests, and I have no wish to see this new endeavor suffer the same fate. May I ask too much of you? Not at all. You may count upon my assistance for what little it is worth. By your leave, I shall prepare a report including a list of recommendations drawing on the lessons I learned from the failures of the Crystal Braves. You have my gratitude, Master Fourchenault, and my trust. When your report is ready, pray share it directly with the sylphs. With your guidance and the earnest efforts of every goodly soul gathered here this day, I have no doubt but that our fellowship shall emerge from the shadow of the Telophoroi and flourish. Until next we meet, my friends. Before committing anything to writing, there are a number of people whose thoughts I should like to hear. Former Braves, you understand. Might you join me in seeking them out? Oh, as if you have to ask, I can think of an excuse not so... Well, I shall be grateful of your help, grudging or not. I'll join you. If you're planning to canvass the opinions of your former comrades, it would be a lot quicker if you share the task of questioning them. And mayhap Graha can lend a hand as well. I shall accompany Thancred back to the Rising Stones. Between us, I dare say, we should be able to provide an accurate enough account of the day's events. We should be glad of your company, Graha. I shall explain the details on the way. Yeah, he doesn't even know who the Crystal Braves were. Why should he come with? So what's the plan? Before discussing the task at hand, I should probably admit that the report I proposed is largely written. Not long after that fateful day in Ulda, I penned a detailed account of the organization's history from the events that led to its inception to the failings that brought about its demise. This I did primarily as a means of taking some semblance of responsibility. Never did I imagine that it might later be referred to by those seeking to form a similar organization. And while I made every attempt to be objective, the account was mine alone. Its events viewed from my singular perspective. For it to be of use, however, it must be broadened to encompass the viewpoints of all involved. Only then can it answer what seems to me to be the crucial question, namely why, after the Crystal Braves disbanded, did some members choose to remain with us while others did not? I see you think the answer would tell us something about the nature of the ties that bind our new Grand Company together, and that this knowledge might help us to prevent it from falling apart when those bonds are inevitably tested. That is my hope, yes, but the questions I would ask are uncomfortable to some. As the former commander of the Crystal Braves, I doubt that those who abandoned the cause would welcome my inquiries. And Graha and I will just have to try. Meanwhile, the two of you can talk to the ones who kept the faith. A fine suggestion. Have care, however, certain of my former comrades are of questionable character. So keep your wits about you and let us reconvene in Gridania later on. If you have no objections, I have in mind to begin by speaking with Ryle and Alian. If memory serves, the two of them will be attending an intelligence briefing at Castrum Orient, so let us seek them out there. Let's go. Alrighty, there we are. I really hope this has some meaning to it. Like some actual meaning. Well, look who it is, and what brings you two here. Wouldn't have anything to do with the big meeting, would it? And seriously, why is this something so different? Like, it's literally just the Alliance? I don't know. In a manner of speaking, I've been assigned a task, you see, for which I require the assistance of former members of the Crystal Braves. So you want to know why we decided to stick with the Scions? Ain't an easy thing to put into words, that. As Ryan will attest, I spent a long time agonizing over my failure to alert you to the traitors in our midst. For my negligence, I was captured along with many others, and we were powerless to prevent the tragedies that ensued. Not a day goes by that I do not think back to those fateful events. By joining the Scions, I hope to redeem myself, and I will continue to serve the cause for as long as I am able. But that was my only reason. When we were finally reunited at the Rising Stones, you refused to blame anyone but yourself for the fall of the Crystal Braves. And in spite of everything that had happened, everything you had suffered, you took us back without a moment's hesitation. We would not have blamed you had you turned us away, but when you gave us your trust instead, what else could we do but try to repay it? Nothing, that's what. As for my own tale, well, I've always held the Scions have something in common with me old crew. The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. That was our creed, and I still strive to live by it to this day. But as time's gone on, I've learned that strength comes in many shapes and sizes, from Hoary Boulder to Mistress Tataru. We've all of us got something to offer. Not one of us is doing it for personal gain, because we believe there's more important things than that, things worth protecting, which is what being a Scion's all about. I am at a loss for words, thank you my friends. To hear this from you means more than you know. Forgive me, Leroy, could you give us your thoughts on the Crystal Braves? Why do you think the Crystal Braves ended in failure? I'll just be blunt. Well, as founding ideals were something to be proud of, but ideals alone don't make a crew. Barry's warp who signed up with good intentions, there was another who was only in it for the coin, the glory, or both. Ours was quite a disparate band, and while I will never forgive Ilbert, the fact that we managed to function at all was thanks in large part to his efforts. Just a pity he was doing it for all the wrong reasons, eh? Only takes one bad apple, they say, and the Braves had a barrel full of them. Not like the Scions. We might look like a ragtag band of misfits, but deep down, we've all got that shared sense of purpose. And why? 'Cause Tataru sifted out all the glory. All the glory hunters, for they made it through the door. I see, so while our ranks comprise a diverse range of people, each with their own individual strengths, we are all united in purpose. Thank you, my friends. With your permission, I shall make a record of our discussion and refer to it when drafting my recommendations until we meet again. Sounds to me like you just shouldn't pay them anything. And you know who's in it for the money or not. Unofficial business. Well, I think we have taken up enough of our colleagues' time, and I am conscious that less life-affirming testimonies await. Let us make our way to Gridania and hear what the others have learned. Let's go. Alrighty, we made it to Gridania. Thanks to Tataru's ever-dependable intelligence, we managed to track down a handful of former Braves without any great difficulty. Some were forthright, others less so, but we heard enough to form a picture. I must warn you, Elfno, some of their comments were harsh. I can well imagine, but their opinions are no less vital to my report. I seek the unvarnished truth. Thank you. I will set about adding your findings to my own at once. In the meantime, pray go on ahead to Little Solace and seek out Elder Frixio. I will turn you in on. Can I also go? Yay, I can also go. Bye. Alrighty, we made it to Little Solace. Please give me some voice act. No, of course not. Ah, welcome, Brave One. I'm friends of Brave One. How good it is to see you walking once again so soon after the meeting. It's been a while since we last spoke. Should this one perform the customary dance of greeting? I don't want to do the dance. Indeed it has, though the palace was very pretty. The meeting was far too noisy for this one. So many shouting ones and squawking ones and cheering ones, with no chance of carefree conversation. Still, this one is pleased all ones can be friends. Horned one Kanisena said that walking ones would be coming to Little Solace. Imperial ones also invaded Sylphlands and abducted many of these ones. So these ones will be glad to bear messages between fighting friendly ones. That is heartening to hear, Elder. It will require all ones to work in unison to stop the Telophorol. These ones will try very hard, of course, but in matters of war, these ones have little experience. Any advice walking ones can provide would be most welcome. Oh, another pretty silver-haired one, and in quite a hurry it seems. Eorzea, you must come quickly. Whatever's the matter, Fourchenault, don't tell me you couldn't read my handwriting. What? No, a twin adder officer accosted me as I was about to set out. Sharlayan has sent an envoy who is due to arrive in Gridania at any moment. Doesn't sound good. An envoy? Could it be that Kral has managed to sway the forum? We shall know soon enough, but there is more. The envoy has requested that the two of us attend the audience with the elder Scions. Really, I can see why they might want Scions to be present, but us specifically? Wait, it isn't who I think it is. It is. I could scarcely believe it myself, but when I inquired as to the envoy's identity, I was told that it was one Fourchenault Livier. Was that the dead? Maybe it is good. Your father, well, now the fact that a serving member of the forum had journeyed here would be surprise enough, but him? Quite, I gleaned from this that they are taking the matter seriously. I doubt that. Aren't they always staying out of everything? That may be, but why him and not one of the other 98 forum members, unless he volunteered for it? I mean, his children are here? It has been some time since you last saw your father, has it not? Could it be that he is concerned for your well-being? I mean, if they're like, oh, why is it exactly our dad? I mean, I feel like that is probably a bad thing. He's probably here to take them back. Perhaps, but he has always been reluctant to discuss his work with us. Indeed, and whenever we write to our parents, it is invariably our mother who replies. Father of the Year. Nevertheless, I welcome the opportunity to meet him again after so long, even if it is secondary to his true purpose here. Elder Frixio, loath though I am to cut our visit short, we must return to Gridania. Pray accept my apologies along with my report. Never mind, there will be time to talk later. This one won't keep walking once from more urgent matters. Go. Can't they just read the report? The audience will be held at the Lotus Stand, where the elder Sitzer waits even now. Let us be on our way. Well, let's go. Alrighty, here we are. Welcome, Warrior of Light. The elder Sitzer and your friends are waiting within. Nice. Where's your dad, my friends? My friends, thank you all for coming so swiftly. Word of Master Fourchenault's visit took us quite by surprise, and the Alliance granted Mistress Kral permission to request Sharlayan's aid. We did not anticipate so prompt a reply, much less that it would be delivered by a member of the Forum. What the nature of that reply may be, we shall soon discover. Fancy.
Elder Seedseer, I thank you for granting me this audience. I am Fourchenault, here in my capacity as representative of the Forum.
It is I who should thank you, Master Fourchenault, for journeying so far and so swiftly. Would the...
Oops, sorry.
It has been too long, Father. You look well.
As do you both. Ameliance will be glad to hear that you are taking care of yourselves.
How is Mother?
She misses you terribly, of course, but is otherwise a picture of health. Circumstances apart, I'm grateful that our meeting has afforded me the chance to be reunited with my children at long last. And I believe I also owe you thanks for the hospitality you showed my father, Louisoix, during his sojourn in Eorzea.
All thanks we owe to him. In the days prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity, it was your father's tireless efforts which granted us a means to vanquish the Primals. Were it not for him, our strength would have been quite spent by the time the Empire arrived. That Gridania still stands is in large part his achievement. He was a great man.
He would doubtless have been moved to hear you say so. I must confess, however, that I opposed his decision to intervene. And my position remains unchanged.
The end of the world, not our problem.
To chart the course of history, not to change it. I am familiar with the Sharlayan stance.
It is more than that. It is our way of life. Who we are.
Damn, Sharlayan sounds like Switzerland.
But I came here not to deliver a lecture, but the Forum's answer to your request. Sharlayan will under no circumstances intervene in the conflict between Eorzea and the Garlean Empire.
May I ask for what reason the Forum has come to this decision? The final days spell the end not only for Eorzea, but the entire world.
The final days? Pray spare me your hyperbole. This conflict is no more than the latest in a series of petty squabbles between yourselves and Garlemald, one in which Sharlayan will take no part. If the final days were truly upon us, we would know.
So they are like, we know better, we know everything, we're so smart, blah blah blah.
Father, you must ask the Forum to reconsider. You may feel safe on your little island across the waves, but if you imagine the Telophoroi will leave you be, you are mistaken. They mean to kill us all, themselves included.
Alphinaud is right. We have seen what the enemy is capable of, the lengths to which they'll go. This is no time to turn a blind eye. If Eorzea falls, so too will Sharlayan. So if you truly love our homeland, you will join us. Now, before it's too late.
I thought you knew better than to raise your voice to your elders. It seems I was wrong. Wrong to ever let you leave, Sharlayan. I consoled myself that your time abroad would instill in you some hint of restraint, of discipline. But I see now that Eorzea has made fools of you both. Have you forgotten why it was that I so vehemently opposed your grandfather's departure? For all his wisdom, his only solution was to go to war. Death, devastation, ruin. Even those who claim victory are scarred for life. What prize could ever justify such sacrifice? It is the duty of the learned to avert such tragedy. By fanning the flames of war, you forsake all you once held dear.
Better to fight and fail than wait for the axe to fall. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom. It is indolence. It is in your power to save us. Refuse and you condemn us all. No, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we dealt with everything before, so why not? I mean, why is it not doable now without them? They didn't help before. I don't know, the middle one sounds the smartest. And he would maybe appreciate that. But to be honest, he will hate me anyways. But they don't really seem like fighters anyways.
I see your friend shares your misguided ideals. But unlike her, you should know better. By espousing such barbaric notions, you subvert the teachings of Sharlayan and place all we have worked for in jeopardy. Alphinaud, Alizé, as of this moment, you shall no longer bear the name of Leveilleur.
Damn.
What? Father.
How you choose to live your lives is no longer my concern. If you wish to walk the path of ruin, I will not stand in your way.
To be honest, I mean, do they want a dad like that?
Master Fourchenault, while Sharlayan may have no intention of intervening in this conflict, we can still part as friends. Will you not stay and speak with us, that we might learn of Sharlayan's hopes for the morrow?
I have said what I came here to say. Any further discussion would be meaningless.
Father! Wait! Don't bother, Alizé!
How can you stand there and watch him walk away? How can you let this happen?
Why would you want a dad that just disowns you because you are willing to fight for your friends? I don't get that. So that's what he came here to say. That we're all fools for having the temerity to defend ourselves against the Telofroi. And that's for the rest. Like it or not, this was the firm's decision to watch from afar while Eorzea burns. Father was but the messenger, and as he handed down their judgment, I could think of nothing to say that could possibly sway him. I still can't. To have prolonged the discussion would have changed little, for it is not only Master Fourchenault who must be persuaded for the forum as a whole, but the forum as a whole. The decision was made ere your father crossed the sea. Nor is it like to be changed, and so we shall face the Telofroi without their aid. Forgive me, but if they had no intention of helping us, then why would they go to the trouble of sending an envoy in the first place? Why did they not simply keep their counsel as they are wont to do? Nora, has Master Fourchenault arrived yet? Yes. And it is as I feared, my efforts were in vain. I pleaded our case to as many forum members as I could, but they flatly refused to discuss the matter. No, that's not exactly true. I should rather say that they ignored every word I said on the subject, without exception. It was almost unnerving. Could it be that they are hiding something from us that might go some way to explain Master Fourchenault's performance? When he said that they would know if the final days were truly upon us, I dismissed it as pride, but what if they genuinely believe that they know how the world will end, and simply disagree with us about the circumstances? That I don't know, but something tells me they are not as unconcerned about the Telophoroi as they claim. If the threat weren't real, why else would they be so standoffish and secretive? I would very much like to delve deeper into this, but I'm afraid I've exhausted every avenue of inquiry. Now if I fared any better with my other mission, researching Hydaelyn and the Imperial Sea. I tried enlisting the help of experts in the field, but it appears the Forum has forbidden anyone from cooperating with us. Obstructed at every turn. So it would seem, but don't lose heart just yet. With all the knowledge and acquaintances we have between us, we can still find a way forward. To that end, I would like you all to join me here. When the time is right, of course. I am aware that matters in Eorzea stand on a knife edge, but with your permission, I can at least start making the necessary arrangements. I've always wanted to visit Sharlayan. Please do. Well, there are one or two things to take care of here first. Yeah, I guess we have to do some stuff first, but hey, we're going to Sharlayan. After which, assisting me will seem a sweet relief, I'm sure. While you attend to matters heroical, I shall see about securing entry for you all, and will let you know when everything is in order. Take care in the meantime, won't you? Nice. Your speculations give me cause to hope. Yet if these seeds will bear fruit, I cannot say. While it is possible the Sharlayans hide some secret truth from us, there can be no certainty that its exposure will prompt in them a change of heart. And so for the present, we must needs confront the plight in which we find ourselves. The Forum has refused our request for aid, and it falls to us alone to contend with the Telophoroi. Even with all of Eorzea standing united, there is no guarantee that we will prevail. No! What does Sharlayan intend to do if we fail? Well, probably nothing, I don't know. Well, I don't know, man. I don't want any of this, I want money. Well, that was quite something. Alrighty, but as far as I know, this is the very last quest of the Post-Shadowbringers storyline. So yeah, after this one, we're gonna hop into Endwalker, and I think this quest is pretty long, so we're gonna continue in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like if you like what you see, and obviously subscribe if you would like to see more. I try to upload every single day. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and bye bye!